Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Afro Mind podcast. This is episode 9. One more to go, and then we'll be done with season 1. Thank you to everyone who has watched episode 1 through 8. And this week, one question that both for our TikTok pages and our audiences we've been wrestling with is how to live with a narcissist. And I think it's very easy when they're just dating, or even if it's a relationship where they can in fact leave, to say leave, right? Because it's not healthy for you. But if they're already married to this person, they probably have a couple kids together, and they would rather not divorce. Is there any way they can try to make it, like, is there any way they can make it work?
Um, I don't know. I mean, you gave some tips, but I cannot think of any tips though. So you can go.
Right. So I think for me,
You can go first.
it comes down to boundaries, right? That was really the only tip I gave, right? Is, because I think if you don't have your own boundaries that you stick to, they'll walk over you, right? Because they would all in most situations want to get their way, so they'll walk over you, and
Okay.
there'll be no motivation for them to change.
Okay.
So they'll continue to walk over you. But if you have some boundaries that you stick with, it probably can whip them into shape. But I think the ultimate tip that I gave in my video is you have to be willing to leave the relationship because they probably won't change.
Yeah.
And if they don't change, then sticking with them means shrinking yourself consistently
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only way it works if you want to stay. And as a psychologist, it's a horrible advice to suggest to you that you should stick in a situation and continue to shrink yourself.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
So when somebody's a narcissist, they like if it's truly
Mhm.
a narcissist as people are describing it to be, then it means that they don't know.
Right. Because they themselves, either they are not aware or they don't care. Like for them, it
Mhm.
makes no difference to them,
Yeah.
right? So they're just living their lives and it works for them.
Exactly.
So it's you who has the issue.
So it's you who has the issue. So then, yeah,
Okay. So you Chima, your only option if
you
is
have
to
the issue.
leave or shrink.
I'm not saying that leave, but know that you have the issue. They are not going to change. So like you can set boundaries. Of course you
They
can,
probably won't. They probably won't respect it.
right? I mean you can set
Mhm.
boundaries if they respect it, but also if somebody is truly narcissist, they don't have empathy, the grandiosity, all of these things like using you as an end to and like if they are truly narcissist, like your boundaries like a drop off
Yeah. I'll find your shit.
in a
Yeah.
bigger thing. So
No.
they may, if of course you can set boundaries, and then if they find out that you are of no use to them, they may actually leave you
Leave you. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go find somebody else.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's one of those situations that I'm hoping that for these people, what they're describing is probably a bad husband or a bad wife, but not
Yeah,
necessarily a narcissist. And if that's the case, then you probably have, if they're just bad at certain things, you could get something to work. But if they really meet the
mm-hmm,
criteria for narcissistic personality disorder, or if they're really a narcissist,
mm-hmm.
your best bet is to start planning your exit, like you said in your video. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Because any other thing is about you shrinking yourself until they decide they're done with this relationship.
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
knew that you want to be in the relationship now.
You don't even have a choice in the matter. They're leaving you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a nice segue to our kind of broader topic for today. I think when I look on TikTok and other social media platforms, it's like a lot of our relationships are struggling, right? And I'm talking more about whether it be marriage relationships or, like intimate partner relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, a lot of those relationships appear to be not healthy at all.
Okay.
right?
Mm.
So I'm hoping we can throw some tips out there. One, for the younger people before they get married, some of the things that they can do to hopefully give them a better chance. And for the people who are also already married, some of the things that they can do to hopefully improve their own relationships, right? So I'll throw it to you. Any initial tips, and you can take it for whatever direction. If you want to give some tips to the younger people, great. If you want to speak to the people who are already married, great. Like, take it where you like. Yeah.
Because it's hard to answer because the people that are married, they don't want to.
They don't want any advice. They
Yeah.
don't want to do anything different.
Whether the marriage is good or not, they don't want to hear it. I mean, that's for me. Maybe I don't know if
Mm.
you
Is it
observe something different, but for me, that's what I have. As I've been on
mm,
TikTok from time to time, that's what I am observing. That
okay? Do you get the sense that for them it works? Like, to them, that's a healthy marriage or a good marriage, right? Because if somebody thinks it's a good marriage, then there's nothing to work on, right?
yes, but
Okay.
then they would complain. They
Oh,
always have something to say, but then
but they
it's like,
they won't listen to advice. You
yeah,
are complaining. You too, when they tell you to do something different to you, won't do.
exactly, right? So it's
Hmm.
like even some of the videos that people post, they will post a video and then it will go viral, and then somebody will say, "Hey, maybe this is not right," and then they'll
They'll
be in
come
the
back.
comment section really defending the person, or oh, this is you are just speaking on just 10 seconds of our life, but you give us the
You
information.
give us a 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you give
Hmm.
us the 10 seconds. So why are you so yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like maybe because it's free
Mm.
information,
Well, yeah. Maybe if we charge them for it,
maybe
they will
because
take it.
it's free, people don't
Hmm.
want
Hmm.
it, or they don't,
Hmm.
or what they want to hear, maybe we are not
Hmm.
telling them, right? The things
Yeah.
that will go viral. How
Hmm.
to be feminine, how to be this, alpha male, alpha female, da 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 da, 50-50,
Hmm.
da 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 da. That's the things that they probably want to hear. And it's
Hmm.
also the things that I don't know any psychologist
Yeah.
who would.
That would tell them that. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I was Dr. Tanisha did her half birthday live, and one of the conversations that came up was about how sometimes in relationships we start a relationship with one of them in a caregiver role.
Mhm.
The conversation was more around addiction, but
Mhm.
the relationship, one person's in a caregiver role,
Mhm.
and if the person who is the addict begins to recover,
Mhm.
sometimes the relationship struggles because the
Mhm.
person who is in the caregiver role doesn't know how else to be
Yeah,
there for you if you
because
don't need them to take care of you.
there is this equilibrium. It's no longer
Hmm.
their equilibrium
Yeah.
has changed. So that would mean
Hmm.
the other person also has to.
To change. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the question I threw, I guess it wasn't even a question that the thing that I brought up was I feel like many of our relationships, especially in the Ghanaian and African space, a lot of the women have been raised to be caretakers for
Mhm.
the men,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So if we on this outside as psychologists, as therapists, we are thinking, no, you should also be enjoying your relationship. It should be a partnership. You shouldn't be caregiving for your husband like they're your child, or like they are necessarily a sick partner. You understand? So I feel like for many of them, a healthy relationship is where the woman is in the caregiver role,
Okay.
and the man is, I guess, go and provide and
The
go.
receiver.
Yes, but also you go and make the money and you bring it home, and I use
Okay.
that to give care for every other thing,
Okay.
right? You know,
Then
and
what's the
so
complaint though?
any other advice that doesn't fit effectively making them better caregivers
Hmm. Okay.
doesn't work for them.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if that makes any sense, right?
So
So
the
because if they
advice that they
change,
want is to an advice to continue what they are doing,
and I guess do it
but
in a
how to self
healthier way.
better it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's
Yeah.
it's it's yeah, it's a weird one. No, I hear you. So in my experience, whenever I throw advice out there, I'm right there with you. Many times I target the people who are not yet married,
Hmm.
because for people who are already married,
Yeah.
I think they find change very, very difficult. And it's almost like they don't want to rock the
believe in
boat.
divorce when it's
Mhm.
when that's what they need, but
Yeah.
they will tell you, I
Yeah.
don't believe in divorce, or
Mhm.
you are preaching divorce. So it's like, okay.
Mhm. Yeah. You're preaching divorce. I don't want to divorce.
Mhm.
Well, and the other person won't change.
Mhm.
So I guess I just have to stick it out.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So in that case, then let's go for hopefully the people who are not yet married, right? Maybe they will listen, right? Any tips for them
Yeah.
before they settle with anybody? Some things to look out for so they don't.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
this is cliche, but it's also very important that, like, people say it, and maybe it has been so simplified and watered down that it doesn't hold any power again. But working on yourself before getting into a relationship, right? And
Mhm.
working on yourself. I'm not saying it in the sense where people tell people, oh, maybe you need this, you need to walk like this, or buying new clothes, or dressing this way, and
Mhm.
all of that towards women. But I'm really talking about the internal work, right? The internal work of getting to know yourself, knowing that you are whole, getting to know what you like, what you don't like. One thing that I've realized is people know what they don't like, right? But
Mhm.
in therapy, if we do the exercise of what do you like, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, it's like, I don't like somebody who lies. Okay, I hear you. Right?
Mhm.
But what do you
Oh,
like,
that's
right?
so true. That's so true. Many
Yeah.
people know what they don't like, but
Mm-hmm.
very few people know what they actually like.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
many people will
Yeah.
tell you, I don't want a man who does A, B, or C.
Okay.
Okay, what kind of
Mm-hmm.
man do you want? It's like
Exactly.
almost like the opposite of that. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like what kind of a person do you envision yourself with, right? Let's take all the negative out of it, right?
Mhm.
Doing that work. What kind of a person do you envision yourself with? How do you envision you being with that person, right? Because, of course, we can take out all the negative things, but when that is done, you don't want a plain person, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want some qualities and some things that come with them. You want a
Yeah.
relationship to feel a certain kind of way. Another thing that I ask people, how do you even want your body, and that's specifically working with trauma victims, how do you want your body to be in that relationship? How does your body respond to joy? How does your
Mm.
body respond to love? How does your body respond to all of these good things that we have spent so much of our time doing that? And sometimes, our early experiences, if somebody cheats on you, you're like, okay, now I don't want somebody who cheats on me. Okay, but
What do you want? Yeah.
what do you want? So that's the huge part of moving beyond the cliche of, oh, love yourself, know yourself, worth. Those things that we say, there is a reason for that, right? It
Mhm.
requires an inner work, right? It requires doing that work to know that the reward isn't a partner. No, no. The reward is you. However, right, if
Mhm.
a partner should come along, then you have your voice. You can stand tall in your voice. You can express, hey, this is what I am expecting from you. This is what I need from you, right? And also knowing that, okay, if you know how you even shrink, you can tell yourself, oh, I'm really shrinking, or my body feels tensed in this person's company. What is going on with me? Versus just going in blindly and being like, okay, we will figure it out. Of course, you will figure
Mm.
it out together, but really figure yourself out
Mm. Yeah.
before getting into that relationship and figure yourself. I know they tell us, oh, make sure you know you have money to rent a room, or a server, or a chance, or a right? But moving moving
Mm.
beyond that, figure
Mhm.
figure figure yourself out, right? Have a
Mm.
relationship, a healthy, loving relationship with yourself. Then you know that I am whole, I am complete. This person isn't here to complete
Complete me.
or make me worthy or make me more deserving of these things, but I am choosing them because I want to, right? And also because life can be tough. So I am choosing them because maybe I want to go through this life with them to make things easier for each of us, to make
Yeah.
things, more tolerable for
Yeah.
each of us, that we are
Mm.
going to enjoy this life together,
Together. Yeah.
right? And sometimes that's what we miss, that enjoying. Because sometimes you look at people and you're like, do you people really?
Well, I mean, and I was surprised the first time I heard somebody say it out loud, that marriage is not a place to be happy. Right. So many people have been raised to believe that marriage is not a place to be happy.
Okay.
So when they are picking a partner,
They're not.
they're not thinking happiness. They because marriage is hard. Marriage is this. Marriage is this. So it's like almost like who has.
Time
I
for
don't even. I don't even know what the qualities that they even look at to go into it to begin with, right? But if you're thinking marriage is not a place to be happy, where is the place to be happy, and why would you want to get married if it's
Yeah.
not? It's what is it for then?
You're
If
going to live with this person 24 hours. So where are you going to be happy?
mhm,
If you
so
cannot be in your home, where are you going to be?
mhm,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I guess for the younger people out there, advice number one is work on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Alice has spoken about, and it's okay for you to go into marriage expecting happiness. In fact, I recommend it.
You
I
should.
rec I recommend that you pick a partner who will where both of you will be happy together.
Together, right? Yeah.
So because
And
I know so many people who before they go into the relationship, they know this person will make me miserable.
yeah, right. And often,
Like,
and again, coming back to knowing yourself, I'm somebody who maybe traveling makes me happy, right?
mhm,
Traveling makes me happy, experiences make me happy, all of these things. Then you pick somebody who's like, I don't like to travel, okay? And I don't like to travel, and I don't also want you to travel as well.
mhm,
Then it's like, okay, then do you even want me to be happy? Versus, oh, I know I don't. Traveling is not my thing. But I understand you. I understand it makes you happy. You and your girls, or you and your boys, go at it, or
go to,
go solo. Or, somebody may not even like to travel, but they will be like, you know what, for you, let me go on one trip.
mhm,
But for you, oh, I went to the market and I saw this and I was like, oh, this will be a nice luggage for you to travel in. That person is really invested in the things that make you
happy.
happy, independent of them, right? They're like, okay,
Mhm,
go. I don't like to do this.
yeah, yeah. I think, and I've told people this on a few platforms. When you're looking to get married, I think we need to do better with our dating,
Hmm.
right? I think as a community, I don't think we date well. I think almost the moment you see somebody that you like and you feel the butterflies in your stomach, your mind is made up that this is the person you want to
But who,
marry.
who did anybody teach you how to date?
No, honestly, I don't think I dated well. So sometimes I wonder if I've just been lucky with the relationship that we have, right? Because
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
things that I know now,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily know then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, what I'm hoping to do is to help people to be more informed, because you may not be as lucky as I have been to be with the person that I'm with. So you probably need to know how to date. So if you end up with, like,
Yeah.
as in, so you don't end up with somebody who's really bad, you
But
know.
that's the thing. We shame people who date, right? We
Mm,
shame people who date, that, oh, we do open man, I said we do an
Opelma.
or son, I
Mm,
said open back, right? So
yeah, it's true.
we shame people. And like, something that I tell my clients is, yes, you want to get married. That's your big goal. However, know that every person you date shouldn't be shouldn't you don't have to force it on them, say. Because obi wo ha na adwene say, my first date. So whether you like
Mhm.
it or not,
We are going to the altar. It's just a matter of time. You will come
yeah.
along.
Or
Mm,
we've been together for 6 months, for 1 year. Of course, that is painful, but whether you like it or not, knowing very well there are cracks in that 1 year
Relation.
relationship,
Mhm.
they should have exit. But for them, I don't want to be shamed. I don't want to waste my time. So that, however, then I tell people, so I would tell my client, focus more on the experience, right? More
Mhm.
than the outcome.
Yeah.
So focus more on the experience of getting to know somebody and enjoying the date.
Mhm.
And it shouldn't be
Right.
like an interview. Like I have my long sheet of paper. So
Mm.
question number one, okay, one of
Yeah.
them are wrong. They're wrong.
Mm.
But like the experience of it, and often I tell people the goal of a first date should be, do I want to go on a second date with this person?
Yeah.
So in a way, you are not falling in love as we call it, but you are gradually walking into it or
Mm.
crawling into it little by
By
little.
little. Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes people forget like how you feel around a person is
Hmm.
huge.
Hmm.
Like some people you can go on a date with somebody, they'll come back and complain about how, like something about the person and all of
Hmm.
that. And then they'll go again. And before you know, they're getting married. Every step of the relationship, they complain about so many aspects
They've
of the
told
person.
you
Like,
so many
what?
things.
Why are you about to marry this person when the whole time you've been with them, it's been one
Yeah.
complaint after another, you know. And oh, if there's a child involved,
Oh,
that one, then they are getting
they
married.
have
Like,
to
oh yeah,
get
oh yeah,
by
oh yeah,
force.
Hoshia, and it's like, dude, I think people forget you have a lifetime. Depending on how young you are at the time of marriage, you have a
Mhm.
lifetime, which will be most likely more than what you've already had. Like if
But
you're
even if
25,
you're not
30,
young, you still have a lifetime, right?
right?
People are living to 80, 90. So even if you meet somebody at
At
60,
40, yeah, 60, you still have 30 years left,
right?
you know. So definitely if you're 25, you probably have a good 50 years left and
Yeah.
you are going to base that on like the sunk cost fallacy. I've already invested 1 year in this relationship. I don't want to have to start again with somebody else. It's like 1 year as against 50 years.
Yeah, as against even 25 years of your life. And there was this trend on TikTok, and of course, it's a trend and we laugh about it. But when you think about it, there is also something freeing about it where people were saying, oh, this is my current wife, or this is my current
As
boyfriend.
yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah.
the people who ask current, but
Mm.
there is something liberating about it to be like, okay, currently you are my wife or
Yeah,
you are my partner. There's a possibility that there could be another one. And that
Almost
doesn't
like you better act right. Mhm.
well, it doesn't mean that I'm leaving you, but I'm also making room that this shouldn't be the hill that I have to die on.
True. Yeah.
But
I,
yeah.
I think one of the few, Ghanaian proverbs that I actually like is Usra Warjaya Wunya Warepa.
Hmm.
Like if you're scared of a divorce, you will not get a good marriage.
Hmm.
You know, and for even the people who are not married yet, if you're scared that the person will leave you, you will put yourself into a horrible marriage because you
Exactly.
have to, right from the dating stages, be asking for what you need when the
Yeah.
other person is not, acting that way. Like,
Hmm.
okay, I don't like this thing that you do. If for some reason a person, like you're not even married yet, somebody cheats on you and you want to forgive, like at that time, you have to let them know this is a no no. If it happens again, regardless of where we are in our
Hmm.
relationship,
But
I'm
even
walking out the door.
relationship, should you allow? I mean,
Actually, no, no. I believe that if your boyfriend cheats on you, walk out. When you're married, it gets a little bit more complicated.
hmm,
But you haven't even married me yet. You're already cheating.
you don't have any documents binding you or anything.
Yeah. So yes, we have to date better. We have to, and in dating better, we have to think of the things that we need, like the things that you need. Ask for it to give you a good sense of, so that when you're walking into the relationship, you're walking in almost like with your best foot forward.
Hmm.
We know that life happens, so things can change down the line. But some people are starting relationships on the wrong foot. Like it's already bad enough. And I hear people say things like, almost like the angel I mean, no, what did they say? The devil is better than the angel you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know this person enough and their quirks and their bad habits. I can deal with them.
But you don't have to do.
I think that's the part that people don't realize, you know. And yesterday I was on a thing like this with Gina Trimisi, and we were talking about how people like the society, because society will shame you if you get
Oh,
divorced.
I
True.
bet you do.
So and I don't think society will ever change.
Mhm.
Like as a psychologist, I hope people we get better at certain things, but the broader society will not be the source of healthy information.
Yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen. So if you want to make your decisions based on what society will or will not say, hey, like you are probably doomed for a life of misery.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, to the young people out there, please prioritize how you feel around the person.
Yeah.
Look for the things that you want in a relationship before you go into the relationship.
Mhm.
And also keep in mind that at some point in that relationship, if you're miserable, I'm not saying if you're unhappy 1 day or 2 days,
No,
like, because
yeah.
anytime you say these things, people feel like you're saying people should just divorce at
I
the
know. They're
at the
like, oh, yeah.
slightest inconvenience. No, that's not what we're saying.
If it's
Like,
a
but
pattern, right? If, like, let's say if you put the relationship on a scale and the
mhm,
misery is more
yeah,
the misery is more than the happy days. Because I mean that's like something that you posted that I like. Like life is hard.
for everybody.
It's hard for everyone. So if we are in a relationship, my in my mind, it's that we are coming to ease each other's burden
Burdens.
or to make life lighter for us. The things that like tragedy, adversity, family members dying, all those things, you will go through it, whether you are single
Single or married. Yeah.
or partnered or married. But the goal is that, okay, if we are together, then it can lighten the load
A little.
a little bit. But
Mhm.
if you are adding to the stress
I
of
swear
it,
to you,
well,
I know some people. I've heard stories of people who feel and do a lot better when their partners travel for weeks and months at a
mhm,
time.
mhm,
Like, oh, today my wife is coming. Oh, today my husband is
yeah,
coming home. It's
then it's
like,
like adrenaline. Yeah,
why?
yeah,
Why is your partner coming home instead? And one thing that I hate is, I think I told you this last time, is when somebody will be like, the women especially, be like, well, I have had this part-time job, I'm doing school, I have kids, and then I have a husband. Like, why are you counting your husband as part of your burdens?
as a task to do.
Why is your husband part of your burdens? Like, it's like, if uh, I feel like when you're counting your burdens, like, life is hard. Yes, I'm in school, I'm doing part-time work, I have to raise kids and all of that. Then you can say, but I'm lucky that I have a partner to do it with.
Yes,
But if you're consistently adding your partner to why, then there's a problem, right? And to the said partner too, it means you have to do better. If your partner adds you to their burdens, you have to do better, you know. But
yeah,
we we've said what is good. If they would take it, they should take it. Some people, they are so locked in what
yeah.
people would say if they don't get married by a certain age
Oh, and
that they will rush into. Yeah.
and of course, marriage, like because of religion and culture, we prioritize marriage and all of the other things. And also, sometimes I think we also have to broaden our idea that some people marriage isn't for them. Right? Some people actually work together when they are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mhm.
They are better like that. But I know that's a conversation we don't want to have. But sometimes you don't have to by force yourself to be in that union or to
Mhm.
be in that category, right? You don't have to force yourself if it's not health insurance or life
Mhm.
insurance or whatever that
Mhm.
you get, of course, kids, legally and stuff like that. But sometimes we have to. release the stress. And even talking about younger people who are going to get married, a wedding isn't necessary. Like that big whole thing. If you cannot afford it, don't.
Hmm.
Because majority
It,
of the people that will come, they don't. You won't even see them.
oh, y- it's it's crazy, Alice. It's I don't know if some of the ways that we think about life comes with experience, if it's because of the field we're in, but some of the things like you think about it and you're like, well, it's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
Like, because why would you go into debt for a big wedding?
Take a loan to start your marriage with.
For a wedding, like because the thing about weddings, like a lot of the things that you do on the wedding day expire that same day,
Yeah. But people
right?
sometimes
Whatever.
people think you get gifts. Oh,
I don't think you get enough gifts to match up.
okay.
Like many people end up after their weddings, they have a little debt to
Mm-hmm.
pay,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't even funerals, you don't get enough in Sawa.
Oh
Like
no.
very few people get enough in Sawa
Mm-hmm.
to balance it out. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you get enough gifts after marriage to really break even, right?
Okay.
So many times, like the amounts that these days people are paying for decor, and
Oh
because
yeah.
after the day the decor is done.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Very
deco, there is makeup, there is
And
hair
even the wedding,
makeup, there is
the wedding
there are
dress, very
even
few people can wear
content
it
creators.
again another day.
Yeah.
Yes. These days they pay content creators
Yeah.
to blog about their
To
weddings.
do
Right?
hashtag, to
Mm-hmm.
coordinate it, to make it go viral. Yeah.
Well, now, I think the people that do that probably are the very, very rich people, right? And for those, hey, I ain't mad at you, right? But if you have to go and get a loan to do that, and then worry about that loan and the interest is building up, please don't. Will people probably make fun of you if you do a small wedding like mine? Maybe.
Who make fun of you?
Oh, Alice, qualify Jimmy happy so like people
Who make fun of you?
share. They're not people no.
Really?
Oh no. I mean, I think Dr. Ethel made a post. I mean, you saw the when the pastor came out and said that his wedding cost or his marriage cost 600
Oh yeah.
cities.
I
You
yeah.
see you see the things people were saying about that, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Dr. Ethel made a post and said, I think they did their wedding on a weekday. They picked one random weekday.
that's the
They
best.
didn't invite many people. It was a small ceremony.
Mhm.
Didn't cost them too much. You should go and see the comment section. If you don't have money, say you don't have money. If you are broke, this is like, don't make it sound like it was A, B, C, D. Like people taking jabs at her because of how she chose to do her wedding, because I think she felt it would be helpful for people to know that you have that option too, right? So yeah, if you do it small like that, people will say, like in Krasasembe, and like, what kind of Atitipa lifestyle is that, right? So the people that things like that fall in their head, they feel like they have to at the very least match up with what their mates are doing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Even our own for our traditional wedding, right? I wasn't there in Ghana when they were doing our traditional wedding. My One of the women in my family told Laurentia that she won't accept that for her daughters. It's like almost like, oh no, mama, yeah, me money they opinion, because they try to fight me, like my own family. I mean, not fight, but they kept saying, the two of you, your mind is not good. My dream judgment and so we will leave you for your own, like you want to do your own small like this, we will leave it alone. But yeah, one of my moms said my daughters would not have this kind of wedding sum. So it's like as you said, a day in everybody expects a big wedding, you know, but you have to be willing to be I saw this on social media. You have to be willing to be a villain in somebody's story. You have to be willing to be an
You have to be
outcast in
shameless. You have to be shameless, right?
if you want to have a good happy life in this
In
our
Ghanaian
community,
society, you have to be shameless.
because they
They will
they will
shame
they
you.
will, they will shame you. They will shame you into compliance. you
Exactly.
know
And into things that are not, that have no
yeah.
relevance.
Mhm.
right?
Well,
No relevance
mm-mm.
online, right? People talking about your weight, your hair, your this, your that. It's like how how does something that I do
Affect you so much.
correlate with your happiness? That's
Mm.
where the you are the problem. I am not the problem.
Yeah. They tell themselves, if we don't say anything about yours, the other people in the society will think it's okay to do, and then they'll do something.
Why
Right.
do
So for example, if they see somebody who is overweight or obese, whatever it is, they feel like they have to shame that so other people don't feel it's okay to gain weight. It's like, how do you do that math?
mm-hmm.
You
You
know,
didn't make any assessment, any evaluation to
you
know
don't
what's
know
going
my
on in this
life, you don't
person's
know
life,
my medical history, you don't know
their
why I
biology,
am the weight
nothing.
that. Mhm. Right. Oh, I guess it's so. Another last thing I guess we can talk about would be just touch on the Yeah Baby issue, the girl who was unalived, and all of the ridiculousness that went on social media over the last 2 weeks or so.
It's
People kept saying, almost like we have to make an example of her mom so that other parents won't be that lackadaisical about their kids. Right? If many people were suggesting that Mami Nanti by like she didn't
yeah.
raise her daughter well, and
Mhm.
that's why her daughter was acting the way she was
Yeah,
acting. I didn't know Yeah Baby before the issue happened, right?
me
So
too.
I don't know the life she lived before. So that's not where I'm going at all. But my question is, these days, what's the going price or what's the going punishment for a bad mother? Like, you remember that Bible story? Is it a Bible story or some drama when we were younger, where a kid was raised badly, and when he was being arrested for committing a crime, he called his mom and said, "Mommy, let me tell you something," and he bit off his mom's ear. It's like, what do I hear
Oh,
me say? I don't know if you ever
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
drama.
That was
Mhm.
that's like a folk tale or something, right?
Yes, when I was younger, it was one of the stories that many people did drama about,
Yeah.
right? So I guess I grew up thinking the punishment for a bad mother is right? So these days, what's the punishment for a bad mother? Like, are we saying that her child passing isn't punishment enough? Assuming without admitting that she was a bad mother. Nebewu, we still feel the need to add on to her misery by calling her names and saying she didn't raise a child well and she deserves the things that are happening to her. Why?
But that's the that should tell you how hypocritical and liars people are, right?
Mhm.
Because most of these, especially the men that we're talking, these are the same men that would say that 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds are adults. They are legal and they can be married or can date or whatever. However, a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, the mother has should have kept her at home and not let her date. It doesn't make sense. And a 21 or a 20-year-old living alone, that's it's not like out of this world. In the US, they are college age. And a lot of
Mhm.
these college, well, not even a lot, most of these college students, they live on their own.
Well, when I was 22, I lived on my own here in the US, a whole continent away from my family. I was
Yeah,
22.
right. And I mean, of course, I don't know her, but some of the videos that I saw, I'm like, this is a typical 20-year-old
Young adult.
trying to figure herself out. Of course, the things that she was doing, I wouldn't do it not because of anything, but because I'm 40 and somehow I have life and experience. It's not because, but if I was dumb and 20, I mean, I've been 20 and dumb. And all the things that I did, hopefully there was no internet, there was no, but
Oh, yeah.
does that justify what happened to her? And to say, like, what TikTok, when I bet to be barman and say, oh, we have to make an example.
Of
Like,
You understand? It's from and it's crazy to me because I think people don't know. I can understand you feeling like even if you are the guy's friend and so you
mhm,
don't want to bash your friend,
mhm,
right? Keep quiet. Like you don't
yeah,
have to condemn somebody
Mhm.
so as to not bash your friend.
Mhm.
Me, if an issue comes and one of my friends is wrong, I won't say something. I'll just be in my corner.
Exactly.
I won't
But
say
then
something. If anything,
somebody
I'll
posted
talk to my friend
in
in the
private.
backstage. I won't go out of my way to make it sound like my friend is right when we all know my friend is wrong. Or
Even
at
if
the
it's
very
a
least,
family member,
mhm,
a brother, a sister, of course, I will be sad and I will support them. But it's not when somebody's child is dead. That's when I'm coming to know.
yeah, that's we spoke about this in one of the episodes. Our empathy goes out the window so many times. Like it's like
No empathy.
Obibewu, you are making minutes and minutes and hours of video bashing her. So
Yeah.
antitinibay.
Mhm. And bashing the girl. And that was when I was,
So if she was a bad girl, well,
yeah.
what else? What other punishment do you want for bad girls? Well, what other lesson can you add to for the other people? Right. So assuming what they're saying is true, bad girl living a bad life, what lesson is bigger than if you live a bad life,
Yeah.
you will die? You don't have to tell anybody else any other lesson. We have seen the girl's life end.
Abuse. Yeah.
The lesson is in the situation itself.
Yeah.
No need to make 1,000 hours of videos bashing her parents. But then it's one of those things. Another thing that I've realized in our community and when we're doing lives and stuff like that is the people that will listen to you. You don't have to talk plenty. The people that will not listen, Alice, you can speak from today
So
to Monday. So these days I've stopped though.
that's what I'm learning about people, right?
These days I've stopped. When I go on platforms and somebody says something and I don't agree, I will wait for them to finish. I actually did this. It was on Bell Wisdom's podcasting, and I went on once. And I think you were there. You were in the comment section when somebody said, as a father, if your partner, like won't let you see your kids, don't end your life. Since you are still potent, go and make new kids, whatever it is. And I said what I had to share. I didn't go back and forth. And I said, the people that will listen to me, please listen. The people that will not listen and will listen to the other person, take it and we go our way. I'm not going to be arguing with you because very few people on this TikTok, on YouTube, and on social media will admit that, you know what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm joining your train of thought.
Even if they take it, they wouldn't say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess our job is to speak, and hopefully the people that it resonates with, you take it and
You take it if you want, right? If you don't want,
unfortunately, it is what it
life
is.
will be the way that we are.
All right. Any final thoughts before we round up episode 9?
No.
No?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So for those of you who have not subscribed to the YouTube page, I don't know what you're waiting for. But right now, go and hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and we will see you for episode 10. It will likely not be next week because I do have a Saturday engagement. I have a public engagement on Saturday. But episode 10 will come. Keep an ear out. And after that, we'll take a small break. But it depends on how these videos move once again. So, yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us up until this time. And we will see you on the next episode.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Everyone have a great weekend.